So you're hiking through the woods and you find this mushroom and you're like, can I nibble on it? Just like a little bit? I would think again, because here are 6 top poisonous mushrooms that you should not take a nibble on. Welcome back to Flora Fungi Podcast, where we love to educate and bridge the gap between plants, fungi, and humans. Today, I'm going to educate you on some mushrooms that you can definitely touch, but I would not put in your mouth. Let's start with the false parasol. So this is number 6 on the list. This one is a top mushroom that everybody knows about. You might know because it's a white mushroom overall. There is one type that is called the vomiter, and then we got the real parasol mushroom, which is the correct one. Floraphyllum moldidites. If you come in contact with the false parasol, definitely don't eat them. You probably recognize them because they're a big white mushroom that you find in your backyard. Most of the times you'll find it out just in residential areas. You'll find it also in golf courses. So this is actually a top mushroom that a lot of people find to nibble on because it's just so well known and everywhere around. How you can tell between the false parasol and the real parasol is the real one has white spores underneath, so you're taking that cap and turning it over. You can do a spore print as well by putting it onto a sheet of paper, tinfoil, leaving it overnight, and when you remove the cap, you actually will see the spores being released. So the one that is called the vomiter will have green spores underneath, where the regular parasol will have the white spores. So this would also include unknown GI toxin, which causes violent vomiting after 1 to 3 hours. So yes, it would not affect you right away, but wait, there's more. Some of the lookalikes are shaggy mane mushrooms, fairy ring mushrooms as well, but this mushroom is all white, which kind of leads into the next mushroom that you should not consume, which is number 5, as the death cat for Cutie is what I like to call it, which is called Amanita phylloides, which a lot of amanitas are not edible. So you could kind of put this mushroom into the whole kind of family in a way. So all amanitas, you'll definitely know this one, which is the red and white Amanita muscaria. So that is an amanita type as well. They grow out of kind of an egg shape. So this is kind of how you can tell between the difference between other mushrooms and amanitas. So the amanitas will always kind of have that egg vulva, the sheath around it as well. So it kind of has a skirt on the stem. And then some of them even have warts on top. So that's typical of amanitas, you know, from ranges from orange, yellow, to red. But there is actually a few amanitas that you can consume. So make sure with number 5 you really identify your mushrooms, because some of them will lead to kidney failure and also maybe a little fatality. Some of them are delicious mushrooms. So again, really, really keep in mind with number 5. So number 4 on the list is the destroying angel, which I think a lot of people hear about this one as well. Kidney failure, liver failure. Do not consume this mushroom because it looks so pure. It will purely kill you. And something that could be alarming is people find that they feel a little bit better after certain symptoms, and then they're hit with another organ failure. So please do not consume any of the 3 that we've listed so far. So let's go to number 3. So I love talking about this one. It is the false morel. So here is what the real morel looks like. Yes, this is a real morel. So it's part of the ascomycete category. So it's a different type of arrangement of a mushroom. So morels, false morels are ascomycetes, where other mushrooms like your portabella, bascomycetes. This is more of a basket holding all of the spores into, so that's the ascomycetes. And the false morel you could identify because it's more of a brain shape. This has more of a netting shape in as the top here. And something else you can look into is you can cut open the mushroom. The stem is hollow when it's a real morel, and if it's the false morel, it is not hollow. So that's how you can actually tell. And there's maybe a little controversy here because a lot of people have actually eaten the false morel. You just have to really know how to prepare it. So it's still going to remain on this list because a lot of people kind of get the lookalikes wrong. So make sure you really identify if it's a real morel or a false morel. This has a really interesting toxin because it's the same type of makeup as jet fuel. So that's very, very interesting. So we definitely don't want to be eating jet fuel. Absolutely not. This could cause diarrhea, nausea, dizziness, coma. You don't want to eat this mushroom. A weird fun fact about this is if you boil the mushroom, the false morel as well, the fumes actually could affect you negatively because of that jet fuel toxin in there. So don't go boiling these mushrooms also. So just stay away from the false morels. The real morels are so much more tasty. Next up on this list is the jack-o'-lantern mushroom, which a lot of people find similar to the chanterelle mushroom, but let me give you a little lowdown on how to identify the lookalikes to the real mushroom. So if you're looking for chanterelles, they are a yellow to orange mushroom that's usually grown more on the ground, connected to the roots of the trees, where the jack-o'-lantern is more on a tree trunk, kind of in clusters. It also bioluminesces, so at night you can actually kind of see it glowing. So that's kind of where it gets the name, the jack-o'-lantern. It glows. It's a really fun Halloween mushroom, but do not eat this mushroom. Cornu-damae. I don't know how to really pronounce this one. I think it's more well-known in Japan and Asia. So if you ever come across this one, I hear you also should not touch this one. I was always taught that you can touch any mushroom. Just make sure you wash your hands. Don't put it in your eye. Don't put it in yourself. Just be cautious. Forage responsibly. But if you see this fungi around, it's also a member of the Ascomycetes. So that's kind of what we were talking about. The spores are differently arranged in more of a netting or bag shape. And so they're kind of like fingers, a little coral-like, a little orange, pink. It's very enticing. And if I've learned anything with mushrooms is usually if it's very enticing and pretty, you should not consume it because it is not attracting humans per se. It is attracting the insects, the animals, other organisms to spread the spores. So that's what they're trying to make it more enticing. Usually if it's red or white, it's trying to attract flies, wasps, things that are attracted to dying, rotting flesh. And so that's why it's that color. Sometimes it also smells kind of like rotting meat or other things you do not want to put into your body. Please, if you come across any of these interesting mushrooms, feel free to research them. Feel free to take pictures of them. You can even touch it, smell it, but do not put it in your mouth. Do not chew it. It is not a forest snack. Leave it alone. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, share, and send to anybody that probably could benefit from this. And also, if you've ever survived from the death gap for Cutie, you are practically a superhero. So please leave a comment down below and tell me how that experience was. Also, there's something in the mycology space called the LBM. So those are called the little brown mushrooms. They are called that because they are very hard to identify. You actually have to do more of a DNA barcoding to get the exact species and genus down. So leave the LBMs alone, and yeah, you can eat any mushroom once. Alright, until next time, bitches.